Hello everyone, my name is Corazar, and welcome back to the Vintage Story Guide. In the last episode, we put together this path, including the terraforming, all the way down to the lake down here, and we finished up with a lakeside cabana and a bit of a dock, and a very glitchy boat. But yes, I hope you all enjoyed how this build came out. I am really loving the colorful floor and the bamboo roof. I didn't think I'd enjoy the bamboo roofs as much as I do, but for up there, I don't think it works as well because it's sort of, you know, it's more mountainous, whereas down here it's like, yeah, we're tropical, we're gonna have some, I don't know, mimosas or something, some mango booze drink on the waterfront. So the last episode was all about that. This episode is all about something that I have been saying every episode, and I mean, I say it every single episode, every single one, is that here on the Silver Mountains, we bring the jungle to you. Yep, I say it every episode. So we've been talking about having a jungle that comes up to about where our house begins, and today I want to begin that process. We've started the terraforming. We've got a whole bunch of grass up here. We have plenty of plantable land down here. I want to start planting some tree seeds and some bamboo and start scattering around some of the interesting tropical plants around here to just sort of fill this space. I want to be able to basically, if we leave this path, I basically don't want to be able to go anywhere. I want to just sort of have a solid amount of jungle here, and enough trees we can barely see a strip of sky here. And I think that'd be really cool to then sort of come out here and then have things open up into the lakefront and the beach. I think that'd be really cool. So, that's what we're going to do today. And I think we're going to start down there and end up here, because I have some ideas for what to do up here, and I think it involves removing this path. And you'll see what I mean when we get there. So I think we'll make it morning, and then let's get to it. So the first thing that we want to do today is we want to, we're going to get rid of all these acacia trees, because although they are warm weather trees, they're not tropical. As in, they like dry weather. So we're going to get rid of these guys. And we'll probably just move our farm for these somewhere south of the mountain, like with our ebony and the purple heart trees. I do think we'll have to take this guy down, at least soon. Maybe not right now, but soon. And then I'm also going to take out these kapok trees here, just a couple that exist, because I want to make sure I have enough seeds. I think we only have like half a stack of kapok tree seeds, and about the same number of saplings. So I want to go ahead and just knock these down, grab the seeds from them, and we will upcycle them up there. So I'm going to get started on that, and I'll bring y'all back when we have all of these trees out and we are ready to start planting. Alright, with all that done, this place is looking kind of strangely flat, so let's go ahead and start fixing that. I want to go ahead and plant at least here, where there used to be an acacia tree. We'll plant a kapok, and we'll do one over here too, just to give the cabana a bit of shade on those hot, muggy days. And then I think we'll kind of start our jungle area about here. And I'm leaving that tree because I kind of like it. It's sort of just the perfect size. So let's go ahead and we're going to plant our first tree, say, here. And we'll just sort of start tucking a couple here and there as we work our way up the path. Maybe more than here and there, maybe here or there and then in between. And then, now that you have the path well uncovered, let's just start kind of scattering them around here, as well as down on this mountainside, as far as I can call it a mountain. And I think I want a couple, like, up here as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and we'll plant one, like, here at the edge. I guess this is more like the edge over here, isn't it? Just grab you and relocate you. We can keep you here. Let's move you a couple blocks. Let's move you, like, to here. We'll just have a few that sort of overlook this whole area a little bit. And we're just going to keep doing this until we're out of seeds. And then we'll move on to the saplings. And I'm a little concerned that we won't have quite enough to fill out the whole area, but that's okay. We'll get the parts that we're going to notice first, so that as we are coming up and down the mountainside, you know, we'll sort of have this nice canopy cover and sort of depth to the area we're walking through. Okay, we are all out of the kapok saplings, and now we have about 2 stacks of bamboo saplings to sort of drizzle around everything. And we're just going to, yeah, we're just going to pretty much saturate this whole area with bamboo. I want this to be near impassable without a machete. And there you go. That is how you make 4 stacks of saplings and seeds just disappear. So we will see some action in about a week in game, so we may not see this happen in this episode, but we will see what we can do. Now, next up, I want to go and grab some of the more colorful and interesting plants that we have, and we're going to scatter them about in places that we'll see, especially around lamps, I think. I thought I had more of these, but I guess not, so maybe before we start dropping these down, let's go and harvest a few. Okay, and now that we have these various crotons, we can go ahead and put them on the salad. Oh right, that's croutons, not crotons. Yes, we can start scattering these around near our plants over here. And I think we're going to want another bamboo here once we get a fresh sapling. And you know what? We might just move you. Yeah, let's move you to there. Nice. And you know what? Move you to more like there. Much better. But yes, so let's scatter these around. And what about those lily pads and those papyrus cores are? Don't worry, we'll use them later. But so for scattering these around, I think the best sort of route to go is we're going to kind of randomly pick the colors that we put down, but not so much that they just kind of all look the same. I kind of want to get a nice, decent splash of different colors all mixed together. And I think the sizes will matter too. Maybe another one of you down there. Better yet, what if we put you up here, there, and we put you down here? Yeah, I like that a little better. So yeah, we're just going to come through and sort of just drop these semi-randomly until they look good. And there we go. Now, I didn't put any of the crotons back up inside where our forest is going to be because we might not be able to see them. So once those trees and the bamboo grows, then I might sort of try to sneak in there and get some more sort of out of the way. You know, I could go for just a little bit more right here as well. There we go. Now, crotons, as I understand, kind of like shade, so I'm trying to put them places where they'll mostly be shaded. These guys won't be so much, which is why I only have 2 here, but these over here will have the shade of this kapok when it grows. So, we're going to do that. Now let's get these crotons put away, and then let's get started on the thing that I got those lily pads and papyrus for. Okay, slight delay. There appears to be a bear in my base. That's, concerning. That's very concerning. Hey, buddy, would you, mind coming back here? Hello? Yeah, I know you hate me. Woo! Get my bow out for this thing. Yep, bow, please. Hey, would you, mind coming back here? There you are. Oh, come on. Yeah, you know what? Just run away, please. I'll take that, too. Whew. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I mean, maybe it fell from somewhere? Maybe it spawned, like... I have no idea. I have absolutely no explanation for this. And with the muddy gravel in hand, we're going to go ahead and dig out this path we laid down earlier. And then we're going to dig up the floor, this little depression here. What? Okay. Sure. That makes sense. There we go. And now, we fill it back in. Very nice, very nice. And now I want to do a bit of terraforming right about here, I think. Let's get you, and we're going to sort of pull this back a bit toward this wall. And what we might do is we could even do something a bit like this. Yeah, let's try that. And then we come here to mess with this guy. Buddy, it is your day to shine. We are going to transform you. Is gonna say into a waterfall, but I guess we have to go a little bit farther, don't we? There we go. It's a little bit better. Why are you only splitting one direction, though? No, not like that. Okay, give me a minute. Now that is much better. Comes down, splits over that rock right there, and then down into what will become a little pool. Now, of course, just like in the real world, in order to expand this pool, all we have to do is take this bucket and pick up and put down the water a whole bunch of times, because that's how spreading water works, right? Look, don't question my degree in physics. So that is what we're going to be doing for the next little while. just in case any of you are mystified as to what I'm doing here, water in this game doesn't propagate the same way it does in that other block game, and when you place a block of water, it does try to run the same way in the other block game, but when you have two water sources that are, you know, both pouring into the same secondary block, it doesn't generate new water. And moreover, it kind of gets a bit janky, but what I'm doing here is, one, I'm looking at which blocks have water that is below, so look at where there are angles, and definitely needs a water block there, so perfect. Now, for these ones in the middle, you can look at where these bubbles are going to and where they're coming from, and from that you can determine that, hey, these blocks probably have less water. Yep, there we go. There we go. And now, these blocks just need to be updated, so I'm going to drop another bucket of water in there, and voila, it is done. So, it's annoying, yes, and I would not recommend flooding large areas of landscape in Vintage Story, but if you need to, I guess you can. And there we have it. We have an almost completely filled pond. Much better. Okay. Now the next step is that I want to replace some of these blocks with some medium fertility soil so they will eventually become green and vibrant over here. Because, I mean, they would get enough sunlight to support, you know, some kind of grass and other stuff. I'm going to go ahead and replace these guys with more of this gravel as well. And maybe we will even dig out you a bit. Like so. So I'm going to go around and just sort of put some dirt around the edges of the pool and maybe like up one level over here. And then we're going to cover these in probably a few more crotons and maybe a couple other odds and ends as well. Okay, and as the night and the rain set in, there is our pool's final dimensions and ground coverage. I'm thinking right here would be a really neat spot to like tuck a kapok tree right here, or maybe like one block out, like right here, where it would get some overhead sun and it would get some morning sun, but it would have to stretch way up high to get that sun. So that could be interesting, but we don't have any seeds right now, so moot point. But now, let's go ahead and let's do, you know what? Before we do lily pads and papyrus, let's get our little bridge done here first. So I'm thinking for now, we will just use our good friend kapok. Oh. Apparently you cannot saw those boards. And let's just go ahead and we will do a very simple bridge. Right, I forgot about that. So what I think we'll do is we'll come back through with the chisel and give this bridge a very, very slight step up. Like I might cut these blocks down by 1/2 and then cut the bottoms out of these guys over the water. Okay, and now is when we can come in with the lily pads and the papyrus. Get some color in here. And now we get some height and some texture, so we will put a small stand of you guys here. And maybe we'll do one over here, right by the waterfall's edge. And maybe one like right here, just a couple. Maybe one, yeah, just a couple right here too. There we go. And now we come through with a couple more final splashes of croton color. And just looking at this makes me realize we need another lantern back up in there, so I'll get one for up there in a moment. But let's get the crotons down first. I am definitely thinking we need a patch right here. This is like front and center, easy to spot from basically anywhere. And we'll even see it maybe out of the corner of our eye. Well, not really, but if we look to our right, then we'll see it. can go ahead and let's get a couple of... So you're a similarly colored short one, so let's put you there. And we'll do that. And then I think let's have maybe just a couple up here. Like you and you. And then across the way, probably here, yeah, up here, we'll have you and you, and then a couple of these smaller ones. And then I think I want one more here. We'll get rid of this. This is deer fern. Yep, get rid of you. We'll have one more splash right here. Oh, and you know what? I think we need something right here. So maybe what we'll do is let's move our project bin. And let's just drop probably the last of these guys. It's not quite there. Right there. Dunzo. And now we are completely out of crotons. Perfect. I'm going to scatter just a couple rocks down in here, on the ground, and also in the water, since that is now possible, just for some more added texture. And there, all out. Perfect. And with this lantern, I bring light to this part of the cave. Neat. Okay. Now, I've kind of changed my mind about this bridge and its curve. I think I do want a bit more of a curve, so what we're going to do is we're going to knock out these center sections so that we just have that. There we go. And then we're going to come in here and do a bit of this. Ooh, you know, that might be too much of a curve, actually. Wait, no, it won't, because it's going to go straight across, and you'll see why. Okay, so now I have this very lumpy, square-looking bridge. What we'll do is we'll come in with a hammer and chisel, take out the top half of this one, bottom half of this, top half of this, and bottom half of this. That will have a nice, very gentle slope to this bridge, and it won't get too high to the point where standing on one side you can't see across very well. Then, something else I wanted to do, as far as this bridge was concerned, is I was thinking, what if we used some acacia to make some nice red fence posts? What we could do is we could come in here with some of these vertical planks and come up to about there on most of these. Come up to here on these. And then go get more acacia, apparently. So there's all our acacia in. And then we come through with our good and trusty chisel and hammer. And we just chisel all of these back to... We'll start with half blocks. But I want to keep the vertical look to them, which is why we're doing all these from the full size. And we'll also have these nice waterlogged slabs in here, which of course won't be slabs for very long. Okay, so these are all chiseled down a bit. And we will come through and we'll sort of re-waterlog these so they stop doing the weird flowy stuff. But now I think it's time to just get our chisel on, and we're going to turn this bridge into, I think, something special. Let's get to it. And like that, we have our brand new little footbridge across the water here. Now, you'll see that I didn't have the curve follow on the floor, and that's because I wanted to have these instead follow the steps, because I don't want this to be a stepped bridge, not just a curved bridge, because we have these sort of straight planks here. But yeah, let me know what you think, and whether you'd want to have this bridge in your own world. Now, there is one last thing that I want to do as a bit of a sort of cleanup before the end of the episode, and that is I want to bring this stream of this very loud waterfall around here so it meets up with this and doesn't just sort of flood the land here. And with the backdrop of hail to applaud our efforts, it does sound kind of like applause, we have a nice new little lagoon with dirt that I forgot to replace, but I'll get to that. And yeah, I'm liking how this is coming out. And we also have a path down to the cabana that now finally has some decorations left and right. And the only thing left to do is to wait for these trees to grow. And so, with the power of time, we now have a pretty jungly jungle. And it looks like we still have a little bit of waiting to do, but it actually looked pretty complete from above. And yeah, I am pretty darn happy with this. I mean, it feels very, very wild, very claustrophobic, but you still have that sort of stripe of sky overhead here. And it thins out as you get down here, because the trees haven't grown yet. That's why it's thinned out, apparently. But yeah, I am really enjoying that. And we have just a few overlooking us over here. We have a bit of shade for the cabana on those hot days. This came out really well. I like it. Let's take one more stroll through, just enjoying the shade, feel the leaves, touch the ferns, tasty ferns, yeah. We can lick the crotons, tastes like Thousand Island dressing. Oh, that's croutons again, I keep getting those mixed up, darn it. But yes, we have officially brought the jungle to us. Bucket list? Checked that off. Well, everyone, that is about all we have time for in this episode of the Vintage Story Guide. I hope you enjoyed building our waterfall-filled pond here and brightening it up with various colors, lots of green, and the bridge chisel work. And I hope you enjoyed the final result of bringing the jungle to us. We have just a couple more episodes until the world tour, so we have some work to do. In the next couple episodes, we are going to get to it. As always, my name has been Corazar. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.